We want to thank you again for joining us tonight for our Wednesday night Bible study here at the Stonecrest Church of Christ. It is a plum picking pleasure that is presented to us each Wednesday evening to be able to come into your homes, your cars, your places of work and abode with teachings that are predicated upon the authority of the Word of God. We promised you on last Wednesday that we would bring this eighth plague to a close, but I'm going to have to apologize again. As I was doing research on last week, getting ready for next week's presentation, uh, truth kept popping off the page for me. So we'll get through it most. We'll get through most of it tonight, but it looks like we will have one more presentation that I am entitling "The Bugs That Ate Tomorrow." Well, that's for next week. Tonight, I want to talk to you from this topic when judgment rides the wind. Listen to me carefully. When judgment rides the wind. Now, if you ask me where I get that idea, that concept, that topic from, it's Exodus chapter 10, beginning at verse number 12. Herein is the reading. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, so that they may come upon the land of Egypt and eat every plant in the land, all that the hail has left. I want you to see the picture. God is going to say to Moses, stretch out your hand. And when you stretch out your hand, he said, the locusts are going to come. At verse 13, the text reads like this. So Moses stretched out his staff over the land of Egypt. Lean in now. And the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. When it was morning, the east wind had brought the locusts. Oh, you need to see this, friends. I want you to watch this. At verse 12, Moses is told, stretch out your hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, so that they may come upon the land of Egypt. I want you to watch this. He says, when you stretch out your hand, I'm going to bring the locusts by way of an east wind. Pardon me, please. Stretch out your hand. The locusts, lean in, will come from an east wind. You see now why I entitle this When Judgment Rides the Wind? And note carefully, when the east wind brings in the locusts, they're going to eat every plant in the field. And watch what he says. They're going to eat all that the hail has left. All right? Let me push rewind and take you back to Exodus 9 and verse number 31. When God sent the hail in the previous plague, he sends hail, puts fire inside of that ice. And the hail falling down out of heaven does two things. Number one, whatever it hits, that falling missile destroyed both plant, animal, people. But the hail did not destroy all of the crops, because at Exodus 9 and verse 31, there were crops still in the field that he called wheat and emmer. It's just a small grain. It's part of the wheat, but it's small grain. When the hail came, watch this. Those crops and those plants had not yet developed to maturity. So the hail could not and did not destroy them. But plague 7 is over now with the hail. Plague 8 is locusts, these bugs, these grasshoppers that God is going to summon in from the east. And now that they have matured, now that they have grown up, God says to Moses, all that remain from the hail, I'm going to let the grasshoppers, I'm going to let the bugs, I'm going to let the locusts, watch this, eat up everything. I tried to remind you that the hail, just like the other plagues, God will send judgment, but within that judgment, God would extend mercy. God will send judgment, but inside of that judgment, God would extend some mercy. He sent the judgment of hail. It destroyed most of the crops, but it did not annihilate all of the crops. God left some stuff for their future. This is why next week, the bugs that ate tomorrow, these bugs will eat their future. See, the hail didn't destroy everything, but now God is going to send the locusts. And what the hail did not destroy, he's going to allow the locusts to eat up. In other words, the locusts will eat their future. And when the locusts eat your future, you have nothing left or else to eat. How devastating can that be to a nation? How devastating can that be in your own life? You see, the locusts then are the cleanup crew of judgment. Did you get it? What the hail did not destroy, the locusts are going to eat up and to eat away. Well, I might better remind you of what locusts are. As you see on the screen, I have, in a humorous kind of way, graphically portrayed that locust is basically a type of grasshopper with a split personality. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. See, locusts start out as a grasshopper. You know, there's an egg that develops underneath the ground, and here comes this grasshopper. Watch this. A grasshopper is basically an insect in isolation. He's not very social. He's not very communal. He's out here, quiet, scattered, minding his own business. But watch the personality change. That's why I suggest that a locust is basically a type of grasshopper with a split personality. You know, when he's in isolation, when he's by himself, when he's minding his own business, you know, he's quiet, he's reserved, he's not messing or bothering anybody. But when he gets around other grasshoppers with great numbers, because of the sensitivity of his hind leg. I explained all of this several weeks ago. His hind legs are very sensitive. By itself, he cool in the game. But then when he gets around other grasshoppers and their numbers start multiplying and their hind legs start touching other grasshoppers' two hind legs, a metamorphosis take place. They get mannish, Mama and them would say, if you will. And when they start touching each other's hind legs, they put some Luther music on down low. And I'm trying to be nice about this. They get beside themselves. They just get mannish. And when they do, they develop what entomologists call swarming mode. And in that swarming mode, where they are hopping from branch to branch, when this metamorphosis take place, they start flying. That's what I mean by swarming mode. And the grasshopper who's hopping from place to place is now flying great distances. See, a personality change. That's why the next graphic you see up there is kind of humorous, where I suggest to you that a locust is a grasshopper that's gone gangster. See, as simply grasshopper, uh, you know, he ain't gonna hurt you. He's gonna eat what he can eat. But then when he gets with other grasshoppers, they start multiplying. They develop swarming mode. He doesn't have to hop from branch to branch, from limb to limb. Now he can fly, and he can fly great distances. And so now the grasshopper has become, if you will, gangster. Now, watch this. At Exodus 10:13, God is going to bring locusts from and by way of an east wind. Now, this thing's about to get good up in here. At Exodus 10:13, he's going to bring them via an east wind. Let me give you a lesson in geography here. If they're coming from the east, that means they're coming across the desert. And the desert is scorching. The desert is hot. So when these bugs come in, and they have come in from the desert, they're coming in, watch this, hot, hungry, and they're looking for vegetation. And the only vegetation left in Egypt is what the hail did not destroy. In fact, when we keep on reading here, so many locusts are going to fly in that the text says in verse 15 and 16, they're going to darken the sky. It's going to be so many of them. They're going to turn the sky dark. Now watch this. I'm setting it up for you. They're going to come in on an east wind. Exodus 10:19 says that God is going to send a west wind and take them all out. Come in. The east wind is going to bring them in. Pharaoh is going to temporarily feel sorry. He's going to temporarily repent. It's going to ask Moses, Mo, please go and tell your God, stop this annihilation. You've already devastated my economy. Now you're about to destroy it completely. I mean, Wall Street is about to crash. The banking industry is about to crash. Won't be anything left. I've been hard-headed. I've been hard-hearted. Tell God, stop this. Moses is going to talk to God. God's going to send a wind from the west. And it's going to be so interesting when we get there, because the text is going to say this. Not one locust was left. Say what? Not one locust was left. I'm setting you up for something. Not only was not one locust left. Two observations. When the west wind comes, takes them out, the west wind takes them to the Red Sea. Let me try that again. I'm not going to tell you who's calling. Uh, Mary Turner. I ain't going to tell you who's calling. But some good food. She's called me about some food she's fixing for me. So let me hurry up and get through with this. Now it'll be 2 weeks before you hear it, but let me expedite this so I can go over there and get that food that she's prepared for me. Now I want you to watch this. I want you to watch this. East wind is going to bring them in. West wind is going to take them out. But the west wind is going to drown them. Where? In the Red Sea. I'm going to just pin it. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin it right now. Because you know where I'm headed with this. Where the story is headed. But right now, I'm going to pin it because I got to explain to you something about the east wind. Not only is the wind going to take them to the Red Sea, the locals only ate what was in Egypt. They touched nothing in Goshen. Goshen is where the Israelites lived. Just like earlier we saw where God petitioned the sky. Now, God, next week I'm gonna show you these bugs had a serial number on their back. God told these bugs, you better not cross over into the land of Goshen. You can only eat your heart's desire in Egypt. All right, so watch this. Watch this. We need to ask ourselves the question, why? As you see on the screen, why an east wind? Well, why didn't God send the wind from the north? Well, why didn't the wind come from south? Why did God use an easterly direction? You all are sure asking some good questions tonight. I need to take a few slides in a few minutes to help you to appreciate the biblical significance of East. When people in the ancient Near East, when the Egyptians, when the Israelites heard that something or someone was coming from the East, instinctively, they thought two things. They thought one of two things. They thought blessings were coming, or they thought banishment, trouble, hard times, harsh winds. You didn't want winds coming in from the east because they were coming in over the desert. Hot, scorching, dry, destructive. See, in scripture, east isn't just a direction. It's a doctrine. I mean, read it again on your screen there. Take a picture of the screen there in your home, on your TV, your iPad, whatever you're looking at this, whatever device you're watching this on. In Scripture, write it down, please. East isn't just a direction. It's doctrine, which means it's teaching. The Bible's East is more than geography. It's theology with a compass. Why? In the Bible, the East is where the sun rises. It is also the direction where trouble travels. Ooh. Dr. Barclay, explain that. Every day, where do you look for the sun in the morning? You look toward the east. You know, when you're driving in the morning. If you don't have a compass, you know, if that sun is shining in your face, you're traveling east. You see, the east, to the ancient Near Eastern people, to Egyptians, to Israelites, people who live at that juncture in history, understood something about the East that you and I don't think that much of, because we have compasses and we have GPSs and we have maps. In the ancient Near East, they didn't determine directions that way. They determined direction by the location of the sun. If the sun is in front of you, you're heading east. If the sun is behind you, you're heading west. Now I want you to watch this. So the east came to represent the dawn of a new day. That's first thing. But second thing is that the east came to represent a hard wind. Because if a wind is coming in from the east, they knew it's going to be harsh. They knew it's going to be hot. They knew it was going to be devastating. They knew it was going to be scorching. They knew it was going to be destruction. That's just because of the location. But notice what else did I say? It is also the direction in which trouble travels. Before I discuss that, look at the slide that I have before you on the screen. So if wind is being brought from the east, people might instinctively think, brace yourself, get ready. This is not going to be nice. It's tantamount today when we see tropical depressions on the west coast of Africa. When these small little windstorms start circulating on the west coast of Africa, on the eastern side of the Atlantic Ocean, in just a matter of days and weeks, it ends up in the Caribbean. It ends up in the Americas. And when our meteorologists see that this depression, this wind is blowing on the eastern side of the Atlantic, we start issuing warnings in Florida, in Cuba, in the Gulf of Mexico, in many of the Caribbean uh, countries. But in Bible days, when wind starts stirring up and coming from the east across the desert, they knew stuff bouts to get ugly right through here. For Israel, the east wind wasn't a gentle breeze. It was the hot, dry wind coming off of the desert, scorching, withering, and disruptive. You see, east in the Bible came to represent both the place of sunrise and a symbol of exile. Doc, what do you mean by that? Well, let me let me get some Bible in here. You'll remember when Adam and Eve sinned. Watch this. East in the garden. That's where Eden was. Go back and read the story, Genesis chapter 2. Eden, the garden, was east in Eden. Remember what east is now. It is the dawn of a new day. It is the rising of the sun. It is blessings coming for a brand new day. That's one way to appreciate and understand the east. Blessings. Oh, but you got to turn that corner over. When Adam and Eve sinned, at Genesis 3 and verse 24, God displaced them from the Garden of Eden. They were, watch this, banished from the Garden of Eden. And when you go back and you read the story, God put a rank of angels called cherubims at the east entrance of the Garden of Eden with flaming swords. Why? To keep the way, to keep them from re-entering the Garden of Eden and having access to the tree of life. So, east then became symbolized as blessings, the dawning of a new day. But when sin interrupted, when sin came in, they were banished. And then read, when you continue to read that story, in Genesis 4 and verse 16, Cain, the son of Adam and Eve, when he kills Abel, he's banished away from the presence of the Lord. And the text says, and he settles east of Eden. So it became the direction in which one traveled away from the blessings of God. This is why you got to understand the significance, the theology of Easter in the Bible. Because the east winds will signal judgment. It's not just about convenience. It's about judgment. And there's an entire Old Testament pattern where you can see the significance of things coming from the east. For instance, Genesis 41:6, the east wind scorches grain in Pharaoh's dream. Oh, I wish I had time to develop that for you. Pharaoh's having a dream, uh, and he's not understanding the dream. But in the dream, uh, uh, an east wind comes and scorches the grain after 7 years of plenty. Now it's going to be 7 years of destruction and devastation. Psalms 48:7, the east wind is going to shatter ships. Job 27:21, the east wind carries off the wicked. Hosea 13:15, the east wind dries up fountains and wells. So let me summarize it here. So the east holds attention. It's the dawn place. It's the beginning of a new day, but it is also the exile path. Because sin, sin turns the sunrise direction into the sent away direction. So let me summarize this in a few minutes that I have left. And then let's get to the Red Sea. The Lord brought an east wind. That's 10:13. Please read that correctly. The Lord brought. The wind didn't just come. It's not accidental. It's not coincidental. The Lord brought. The Lord summoned an east wind. In other words, the wind is God's delivery system. Now, why is that significant? Because you are looking at a graphic of an Egyptian god by the name of Shu. And in Egyptian mythology, in Egyptian religion, Shu is the god that they believe controlled the winds. God says, shucks, ain't nothing to shoot. I'm going to bring winds right through the atmosphere, the territory, the domain that you believe your God Shu controls. So God is saying, in essence, where's Shu when you need Shu? Shucks, ain't nothing to chew because creation. Oh, look at yonder, look at here, look at here. Creation listens to God better than Pharaoh does. Watch this. Oh, please see this, folks. The east wind brings locusts in. West wind take locusts out. What does that say? That's saying that God is in absolute control over his creation. East wind brings judgment. East wind introduces devastation. East wind moves toward Egypt only, while Israel is not affected. The west wind removes judgment. The west wind ends devastation. The west wind carries bugs to the sea. What does this show? This shows that God is in complete control. He is sovereign over arrival. He is sovereign over removal. God determines where judgment . Oh, I feel like playing me some big cake up in here. God determines where judgment goes to die. Did you hear what I just said? God says, "Ooh, y'all need to see this. I'm gonna stop these bugs in the Red Sea. I'm gonna stop these bugs in the Red Sea." Pharaoh, not only am I am I going to stop these bugs in the Red Sea? Look at that graphic on the screen. The west wind sending locusts to the Red Sea is doing nothing more than sending warning shot. God is trying to say to Pharaoh, you are seeing preview Egypt's funeral. All God is doing is rehearsing your ending. God often shows you the ending before he brings you to the ending. Oh, Doc, you're talking too fast for me. Slow your roll. Okay, okay. Let me slow it down for you. God often shows you the ending. He shows you the ending before he brings you to the ending. God, God is saying to Pharaoh, these bugs, I'm going to take them to the Red Sea. That's their graveyard. You got it. It's your graveyard too. The wind that removed the locusts was God rehearsing Pharaoh's destruction. Pharaoh just didn't realize he was watching the trailer to the end of the movie of his own life. If you've ever seen movies, you go to the movie and then they show you another movie. That's called, they show you clips from an upcoming movie. That's called a trailer. See, a trailer is a preview of movie clips that reveal, watch this, the tone and the direction without showing you either the end or every detail. Mm. In other words, when you see the trailer, they're not showing you the whole movie. They want you to come back, pay, and then see the movie, and then get some popcorn and some peanuts. But they'll tease you. They will show you enough so you can come back. Watch this. Pharaoh saw a sign, but he didn't read it. Say, what? Let's show him a sign, but he didn't read it. In the sign, when he saw locusts removed, And watch this, they were removed at his request. Exodus 10:16-18, Pharaoh called Moses in. Said, Moses, talk to your God. Tell him to get these bugs out of here. God said, watch this, answer this prayer. God extends mercy again. He removes the bugs. Unfortunately, Pharaoh saw the sign, didn't read it, and he ignored the message behind the sign that he saw. But what was the message? Here it is. God warns before he wipes you out. Dr. Barclay, you teaching Bible up in here tonight. Yes, I am. What's the message? God gives previews before the final scenes. What's the message? Judgment is not accidental or coincidental. God is in control of the means, that's the win, and the destination, that's the sea. Oh my goodness, I got so much to tell you. Don't have time to tell you. But I need you to see this last point. This thing gonna get good next Wednesday night. And I hate to leave you here, but I must. As you watch the graphic on the screen, preview coming attraction. See, again, I'm taking that movie motif. Pharaoh is watching a movie of his own life and doesn't understand what he's watching. The same place he takes the bugs is going to be the same place he takes Pharaoh. Ooh, but I need to help you to understand the application of this, lest we leave this story at the Red Sea and at the water's edge. Watch the preview of coming attractions. I want to show you how I'm going to connect this to your own salvation. In Exodus 14, God uses wind and water for both deliverance and destruction. In the same water, in the same sea, in the same place, some folk will be delivered, Israelites, and some folk will be destroyed, Pharaoh and his army. Deliverance and destruction. Next week, I'm going to show you where in John 3, you already see it. In John 3, Jesus is in conversation with a man named Nicodemus, and he tells him, you must be born of water and the Spirit. And the Spirit is called wind. Woo! It's going to get good. It's going to get good up in here next week, and you don't want to miss it. You gonna want to call your friends and say, yeah, y'all need to come hear this, man. Y'all need to come hear this story. Y'all need to come hear how this book makes sense. So come on back next Wednesday night as we try to finish plague number 8 as we talk about the bull that ate Egypt's future. And they had a serial number on their back. And I'm going to explain John 3, wind and water. And then I'm going to take you over to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, where Paul is going to take his readers right back to this story to illustrate something about being saved. Ooh, it's going to get good. It's going to get good. Sister Simmons tells me on Sunday, she said, Brother B, you're just having too much fun teaching on Wednesday night. And she is show enough right. And until next Wednesday night, may the Lord of the harvest bless you, and may he bless you real good. And Sister Turner, I'm coming from my neck bones. And until then, may the Lord of the harvest bless you, and we'll see you again, Lord willing, next Wednesday night. God bless you. God keep you is our prayer.